Good afternoon. It is Friday the 13th on Fantastic Friday. With us, welcome to basically the ninth period wrap-up show. With me today, I have a fantastic group of people. I have Kelsey, Wally and Sorabel, Ida, and Cheyenne and Kaylee. Yes, that's hard. I had a lot of caffeine today, so I am very up there. I'm very yes. Well, to start off the show, we have pretty much some serious stuff to talk about. Basically, one thing that happened last night in Seaside.
Oh, yeah, the Seaside Inferno. That was intense. That was very intense. The Seaside Inferno, that's what I call it. It started at around 8 a.m. yesterday, and it comes to find out that today they finally put the fire out.
They did?
Yeah,
Wow.
they finally put the fire out. Thanks to the rain, that it rained last night. They said it was a big help for them. But they said about 400 firefighters responded.
Wow.
And they're saying that it started at the Core Brothers Ice Cream Parlor in the Seaside Boardwalk. And some people are saying that the fire started on purpose, or that it was like something happened inside the parlor that it sparked and then poof, big huge flames everywhere. They said that 12 firefighters had to go to the hospital because of smoke inhalation. That too many firefighters were inhaling the smoke. That their their oxygen masks were running out of oxygen, and so they didn't know what to do then. But they said that, they were trying to control the fire because when they first started to spread, it was out of control. They didn't know what they were going to do. And they said that their best bet is to, destroy the boardwalk. So, I mean, it was pretty bad. And then, Sandy, they just finished rebuilding the whole boardwalk because of Sandy.
And it just got destroyed
And
again.
it got destroyed
Wow.
again. Yeah.
Almost like a full year after Sandy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Governor Christie, when he came, he said that he felt like he was going to throw up because of all the effort that he put in, and, it made him sick.
That's insane.
That was. Oh, my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we'll rebuild again.
Yeah, hopefully.
Again.
There's no
We're
choice but to
stronger than
rebuild
the fire,
again.
Yeah, we're stronger than the
fire.
fire.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
poor Jersey.
Yeah, man. Poor Jersey.
Well,
no one died though, right?
No one died,
No.
thankfully.
That's-
No one
that's the
died,
right
no one got
side.
hurt.
No one got physically injured. I mean,
Yeah.
smoke inhalation, yes,
Yeah,
that's bad too. But
Nothing.
it's a miracle that no one was there
Yeah.
when it happened.
It
Otherwise,
happened.
it would have been it wouldn't be just a disappointment of seriously
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
But it would have been more of a tragedy, oh my gosh,
Firefighters.
that's horrible.
They ran out of water, so they had to literally use the beach for
Oh,
their
wow.
secondary
That's horrible.
resource for water.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was bad, and the wind didn't help either because that's what made the fire, spread even more.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank God for the rain.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
God for rain. Thank God for
That's
rain.
a miracle.
Yes.
actually.
It's a
Seriously.
huge
Like, we need
miracle.
water.
Rain.
Rain.
Well, that's something local that happened overnight, literally. But what's going on with the whole Syria situation?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I heard that was getting pretty serious.
yeah.
Well, from recent reports, we have heard that Syria has decided to turn over their nuclear weapons to Russia. It's actually kind of coincidental, or ironic if you want to call it that Russia is actually trying to stop a war in this sense. Not saying that Russia are more the troublebringers, but from the sense how America usually was the ones that really would try to get themselves into the war. And a lot of the Americans are also trying to say, stay out of the war, stay out of Syria. We spend all the time in Iraq. Why do we need to rush into Syria? Even though, yes, U.S. is trying to play world's policeman, even though that's not really their role, it's still, you can also see both sides. What the U.S. wants to do and what Russia wants to do, what they're trying to stop. And it's a really interesting situation if you get into it.
I feel like
Yeah.
we're learning from our mistakes almost.
Yeah.
It's people not again.
Mhm.
Nope. They drew the red line. Nope, not again. We just got out.
Yep.
Never.
Let's try to
Yeah.
solve it before just jumping in there and starting another war.
Mhm.
And I have a little fact for you that I found on NBC.
Oh, yay.
Sweet doom doom doom.
So, weapon experts say that the immediate goal of having international community take control of Syria's chemical arsenal would be extremely difficult, and it's almost impossible, even like during a civil war. So I know that America is trying to make it right and have control over, Syria's chemical arsenal, but in the end, it is impossible.
Don't be our Debbie Downer.
I know.
We're trying to see the silver lining
Wah,
here.
But these are weapon experts saying it. But let's
Yeah.
hope for the better and hope that we don't have to go into another war. And also, Assad, who is in charge in Syria, insisted on Thursday that Obama must drop his threat of military action, a very huge demand. I could see where Assad is going with this. He obviously doesn't want to go into another war, but Obama is threatening this or threatening military action to prevent chemical usage.
Yeah.
So,
Guys, what's your opinion on like this? Because I've heard a lot of different opinions, and it's ridiculous. Like, some people say we shouldn't get involved. Some people said that we should. It's complex.
I believe that Obama should think really long and hard about his decisions that he's going to make. I mean, the possibility of another war, World War III, it's not good. So, I mean, if Obama wants to start a war, like, he really needs to think about it, because he just sent troops back from Iraq, and there are still troops in Afghanistan. So, like, sometimes, it gets a little tiring after a while, seeing war in other areas, and now you want to start another one in Syria.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
and plus, if there's a now World War III, it won't be mainly hand to hand or on ground combat.
Yeah.
This time there's there's drones, there's weapons.
It's like a totally different game from Vietnam and
And-
the Cold
and
War
Japan.
and Japan. It's like
Korea.
we have nuclear weapons that would basically be detrimental to people and the environment.
Yeah.
I need to keep that in mind.
And plus now we have chemical and biological warfare,
Yeah.
which can actually just end up going from from point A to point A to point B to point C to point D
And
to
come
point
back to
X,
you.
Y, and Z. And if anything is really going to destroy the planet if during war, it's going to be that, because you can't contain those kinds of weapons because they can go unnoticeable for any amount of time. Like, you could infect something with like smallpox or malaria, but what they're using in Syria is sarin nerve gas, which basically I had to look this up for environmental science class,
That's really bad.
and basically you can't control your own muscles, and you
Oh
just
my God.
you just stop breathing.
oh, that's terrible.
That's bad.
And it's like, and if you go look in like news, there's pictures of everything, not just people, but like birds and every kind of animal there gets attacked by it.
It's
That's-
just really sad about the
And
innocent
to
people
think
that are
about
gonna
it,
be
Yeah.
kids were affected by it too.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah, because the
kids.
government is using it against their own people. Like, if he's going to use that against his own people, what is he going to do to his enemies?
Yeah, I get your point. Yeah.
That's another impressive argument that was made by a few people on CNN that I've read, that we just went a war against rebels, a long 10-year war against rebels, and now we're actually going to side with rebels.
Yeah.
That's a little confusing.
It's basically we're one big contradiction of a country
And before
at
we
times.
go to war, we need to find out exactly what these rebels stand for. Just because you're rebelling against, you could go from bad to worse, or really bad to just bad. It doesn't necessarily mean if the rebels win, it's gonna be all happy.
Yeah. Heavy topics,
Yeah.
guys.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
what?
Wow.
Sarin gas affects the weather actually.
Wow.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh wow. The temperature increases every time that missile, the
Mhm.
chemical missile strikes. Temperature rises in the climate. I'm like, wow. That's
Wow.
no wonder it was so hot.
Oh my gosh.
Was that why?
Seriously?
Okay. So now it's my turn, and I am actually going to be along the lines of international news, but this is more of a social problem that not only the country that I'm going to be talking about, but all the world faces. And it's if you guys would remember the Delhi case of the bus rape about a year ago in India.
Yeah.
So, a young girl, I believe she was 23, and she went to see a movie. It was pretty late at night. I think it was The Life of Pi with her friend. On her way home, she was attacked and brutally raped. Not only brutally raped, so brutally raped by 4 or maybe more men that she died. So, like, how, like, inhumane do you have to be to kill someone?
Oh my God. She died?
She died.
She died of her injuries.
Yeah, she died of her injuries, and she was like suffering. Like, what kind of people? But the point is that now India has officially given their word that they have sentenced 4 of the men to the death penalty, which some people are saying good,
Rightfully
some
so.
people are saying, you know. But the more important thing is that this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's not just this case. There were over 25,000 rape cases filed in India that were never followed through. And that kind of has to do with their mainly patriarchal society. I mean, here in America, we're kind of, women are more well respected here. But in other places, in the case of rape, sexual assault, it's the woman's fault. You were provoking me. You were asking for it.
Yeah.
You know?
If that would have happened in America, that would he would be charged with life in prison.
Yeah, at least, you
Yeah.
know? But over there, it's not the man's fault. The man, you know,
Yeah.
can't control himself. The man is whatever. It's the woman's fault. But you actually brought up a really good point when I was discussing this with you. Remember that it's kind of funny how India had a switch?
Yeah, they used to be a patriarchal country, not just government. But then over time, I think it was during the Britain's colonization of it, that it became more patriarchal, because it used to be very feminine based, like with everything.
Yeah, it's like the world is living in a horror movie, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
everything's going down.
Speaking of horror movies, it is Friday the 13th, and there are a few horror movies that are coming out. So,
yeah.
So we're going to a little bit lighter tone.
yeah, we're gonna go to a little
Yeah,
bit
we're gonna
lighter
try
note,
and like
you know?
end it nice and kind of
Nicely,
scary,
so-
and not sad.
It is
Away
Friday the
from war,
it is
right?
Friday the 13th.
Well, actually, talking about Friday the 13th, I have one of my favorite movies, Jeepers Creepers. And the 3rd one is actually coming out.
When?
I think it already came out, actually.
What?
Yep.
Really?
It
Oh
did.
yeah, it came out this summer.
18th.
I did not hear
I've
about
never
that.
heard of that.
July 18th. Oh, it must have been not out in theaters then. It must have been like, you know, automatic DVD.
Oh.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, there's movies like that these days.
Yeah.
Like Sharknado.
Oh my gosh, Sharknado! I can't.
Why
I
would you
can't
go
with
see
Sharknado.
Like,
No, it was on the Sci-Fi Channel. Like that's when it like came
Oh,
on,
okay.
and so like I watched it with my dad and my mom, and we're just watching it, and it was like defying logic at every moment.
Like
It's
a tornado
no.
of sharks. Like, can you imagine that?
Now they're making
Like
the
how
second
funny
one,
that
right?
is?
Yeah, they're gonna
They
make
make
the
Sharknado 2?
Sharknado 2 on the
Oh
East
my
Coast this time.
In New York City.
Wow.
So imagine that.
Did you see that last shark
gonna be
movie that
so
Sci-Fi
bad.
made? It was called The Jersey Shore Shark. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And guess who had a cameo of it? Vinny from the Jersey Shore.
No. Oh my gosh.
Vinny did a cameo in Jersey Shore Shark.
Jersey Shore.
I'm like,
They're
wow.
not done with that yet. Like,
They finished.
They finished it.
no, I mean, like, but people are still talking about it. Like, I feel like it'll forever be in our history.
Yeah, like the
Like-
real world. That's
Always
a good
look
show.
down on New Jersey because of that.
They're not even from New Jersey.
I know.
Long Island.
Yes.
There's
Very
one
Italian.
person from New Jersey, and that's Finney, right?
Oh, really?
Vinny,
Okay.
yeah, he's the only one that's
The
from
I
New
thought he's
Jersey.
from Staten Island.
He's from Voorhees.
Oh.
Well, I didn't know.
Voorhees.
Uh-huh.
Voorhees.
Get it? Because it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
We made it
Um,
funny.
Speaking- oh, and tonight, I found out tonight, Fright Fest is open.
I
Perfect
really
timing.
Want to go.
Fright Fest is open tonight. And so if anyone wants to get scared early in September, go to
Head
Fright
on
Fest.
over.
Not in
Yeah.
October.
Is it actually scary?
It's in
like,
Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New
Aw.
Jersey. And
Why
I've been
is it
going.
so far?
No,
I know it's so far.
I know.
It's worth it.
It is worth it. It is. You know, like I remember when I was little tiny, when they used to have a haunted hayride in Fright Fest,
Wow.
and I would always go under my mother's scarf and just like, I said I can't do it anymore. It's so scary.
Is it actually scary now that you're older?
No.
No. It's more funny than anything, I guess.
I was going to talk about some Friday the 13th.
Oh,
facts.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of Friday the 13th, and speaking of movies, right? Friday the 13th, the movie. I have yet to see Friday the 13th.
Oh my
Really?
gosh.
I
It is so
cannot
good.
watch horror
Me
movies.
too.
Watch the
actually.
classic, because Kevin Bacon's in it. And everyone loves Kevin Bacon.
Because his name is
Like
Bacon.
Duh.
Okay, so why is 13 an unlucky number?
Why?
Why? Well, it's usually because it comes after 12,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the number of completeness.
Oh.
So, like 12 months in a year, 12 hours in a clock, 12 gods
I
of
didn't even
Olympus,
think of
12
that.
zodiac signs. So it's like the end. But in some cultures, it's actually very lucky, like the Chinese culture.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Some people consider the number 13 to be lucky. Also Italians. If you're Italian, then 13 is your lucky number. Taylor Swift. Does anyone know
Yes.
the story?
Oh.
Not really.
Did
no.
she break up with someone on 13?
No, she loves. No, she's had 13 boyfriends. Or
Oh my
Oh,
god!
wow.
No, that's
over,
not
like,
it.
over what time period? Like
I wouldn't be
life?
surprised.
It's
This
probably,
year.
She probably
Oh.
has more than that,
I
but
bet you Harry
Like
was
you
lucky
just don't
13.
hear about it. Harry the 13th.
Taylor Swift considers 13 to be her lucky number. And I'm not quite, sure why. It might be because of her birthday, December 13th, and she paints 13 on her hand.
Oh, boy.
and
Creative.
yes,
Okay.
and also presidents have, well, one president in particular had a fear of the number 13.
Wow.
Which one was that?
It was Franklin D. Roosevelt.
FDR.
wow.
Oh, wow.
And considering I would have never thought Roosevelt would have had any problem with, numbers. He had
It's
a
funny
deal.
how
yeah.
important people are superstitious. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It said that he would never travel on the 13th day of any month,
Oh, really?
and he would never invite 13 guests.
Wow.
So
Oh my gosh.
Oh, my
He sounds like
goodness.
my mom. Very superstitious.
Very strange person. You know he married his cousin,
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Eleanor Roosevelt. I'm like,
Back
ooh,
then it
whoa.
was
maybe
actually
it was normal.
Yeah, back then it was
Yeah.
normal.
Yeah.
And plus, they were wealthy. They could get away with it.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
true.
mean, he was the president. so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Only
Well,
president
yeah.
to have a long term as president, which I think is pretty cool.
He had the most terms more than any president.
Yeah.
Two?
After he died, then
He
they're like,
had,
okay, that's
He
it.
was elected for 4, and he died in
They
the
didn't
middle of his
have
fourth.
a limit back then? On the
After
They
he died, they
didn't.
did.
Oh,
After he died,
okay.
they did.
And if you want to avoid any bad luck today or any other Friday the 13th, you know what to do. You get your horseshoe out. you
Yeah.
know,
Yep,
Throw
horseshoe,
some salt behind your
shamrock.
shoulders.
Don't go under a ladder.
Nope.
Well, guys, it's the end of the day. You know what that means.
School's out.
Time to go.
Weather.
And
Weather, guys.
Okay, the
Can't
weather-
forget about that weather. Well, right now it is 74 degrees, partly cloudy. Today, your high pretty much later on is going to be 73, and tonight is going to be 56, but clear skies and not a chance of rain, hopefully.
All right.
Your weekend forecast, tomorrow, 72 degrees as the high, the low 55. Wind at 10 miles per hour coming from the northwest, no rain. And Sunday, again, no rain. Wind at 5 miles per hour coming from the west southwest. And 75 is your high, and your low is only 62.
Yeah.
Perfect weather, guys. I mean, seriously.
Get out
Yeah,
this
But
weekend.
it's gonna drop soon. It's gonna drop real
Oh,
soon.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Which is a good sign because that means Syria didn't release any more chemical weapons.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
All
was
right.
our show today, right?
That
Yeah,
about wraps it up.
that's the show, guys.
All right.
We
I
finished
wanted,
an entire show.
I want to thank you guys for coming in,
Have a great weekend, everybody.
and have a fantastic weekend. Bye.
Bye.